Daniel 11:5. V'yechezak melech hanegev umin sarav, v'yechezak alav umashal, mimshal rav mimshalto. In verse 5, we begin to see a bit of a narrowing of these kingdoms. So the kingdom of Alexander was divided into four, and then now we get the king of the south. And I think this is a reference to Ptolemy, or the Ptolemies who ruled Egypt and Palestine eventually. And he will become strong. So here's a call imperfect, third masculine singular of the verbal root chazak. So he will become strong. And then this next part is a little bit interesting. We're going to have the Vav plus a min and then Sarav, his princes. Now, this could be a comparative min, and this could be something like the king of the south will become strong even more than his princes, and that would follow more of the Athnach accent system here. But a lot of English translations ignore that Athnach, and they take this prepositional phrase, and from his princes, to be a partitive min, so one from his princes, so a part of the whole, as the subject for what comes will be strong, something like that. So it's a little bit difficult with the syntax here, especially based on the accent. But I think that the idea that we're getting at here is this division of the king. We now have a king of the south, the Ptolemies. We're going to see in a moment a king of the north, which I think refers to Seleucus or the Seleucids. And so we get the king of the south will be strong. And let's just go with this. And one from his princes even will be strong. Another call imperfect, third masculine singular, over him. And he will rule. I think this is kind of reinforcing this concept of one from, and he will rule, call perfect third masculine singular with the Vav consecutive, so we get that vekatal form. And he will rule with a dominion great. See those two there together. We saw that before, and this implied is instrumental with what will he rule, or how will he rule with great dominion. And then we finish up the verse with a min preposition that would certainly be comparative, and this would be with a rule greater than his authority. And I think that what we have here in this third masculine singular pronominal suffix is with greater authority than the king of the south. And so, in other words, if this one from the generals of the king of the south is Seleucus, who ended up ruling the Seleucid kingdom himself, then he is going to become greater and will rule with a greater authority than the king of the south's kingdom. So that gets a little bit confusing there, but basically in the rest of this, we're going to see this division of the king of the south, the Ptolemies, and the king of the north, the Seleucids.